The WNBA has made one of the most shocking decisions in its history, and it all began with one forceful shove. Chennedy Carter has received an indefinite ban after her hit on Caitlin Clark during the game. But this is about much more than a typical suspension. It could completely bring her professional career to an end. How did a former high draft selection go from a rising talent to being pushed out so fast? And why have even her own teammates chosen to stay quiet instead of speaking up for her? Today, we're breaking down the full story that many believe the WNBA tried to keep away from public attention. And trust me, there's much more behind this situation than most fans know. Before we continue, the play that changed everything took place during the Chicago Sky and Indiana Fever game. The building was packed, and every fan was focused on the action. The energy inside the arena was intense from the opening tip. Caitlin Clark was controlling the game the way she always does, creating scoring chances with outstanding court vision, delivering accurate passes, and hitting shots from incredible distance. The rookie sensation was taking control, and Chicago was beginning to feel the pressure. As Indiana battled its way back, the intensity continued to grow. The sound of shoes on hardwood, coaches shouting instructions, and crowd getting louder with each possession filled the arena. Then the game took an unexpected turn. Without a basketball reason, no loose ball, and no shot to contest, Chennedy Carter delivered a strong shove that sent Clark to the floor. It was never a legitimate basketball play. It was completely unnecessary. The entire arena suddenly went quiet. That unusual silence spread to the crowd as thousands of fans watched in complete disbelief. The replay only made the situation worse for Carter. Every angle appeared to show the contact was intentional, calculated, and impossible to defend. One veteran WNBA analyst sitting courtside explained it clearly. After covering women's basketball for 15 years, they had witnessed hard fouls and emotional games before, but this felt different. It crossed a line between tough competition and needless aggression that had no basketball purpose. Following a detailed investigation, the league officially revealed its decision. The statement was clear, describing Carter's actions as an intentional act that failed to represent the standards and values of professional basketball. The punishment was an indefinite suspension with strict conditions that must be met before any possible return. However, many people believe it goes far beyond an ordinary suspension. Several anonymous sources claim the requirements were made so demanding that completing them would be highly unlikely. One senior team executive described it simply, saying it was a career ban in everything except the official wording. According to those sources, the league designed the decision this way to keep Carter out of competition while lowering the chance of legal challenges. The conditions are far stricter than those seen in a normal suspension. Carter would need to complete more than 500 hours of community service, pass extensive behavioral evaluations, and finish a probation period that would heavily restrict both her earnings and personal freedom, even if she earned reinstatement. The financial impact could be massive. Between lost salary, missed endorsement deals, and future income, the total loss has been estimated at more than $1.2 million. For any professional athlete, that level of damage can completely change or even end a career. What makes this situation even more remarkable? What makes this story even more important is that the incident involving Clark was not a one-time event. It was the latest chapter in a long record of issues throughout Carter's professional career. She entered the WNBA as a fourth overall selection in the 2019 draft. The Atlanta Dream expected to build around a gifted scorer with elite athleticism and excellent defensive ability. Instead, problems appeared almost immediately. Reports stated that Carter was involved in a serious locker room dispute with teammate Courtney Williams that nearly became physical. Williams has long been recognized as one of the league's most respected and level-headed players. According to a former Dream staff member, the situation went far beyond a normal disagreement between teammates. It was the type of conflict that could split an entire locker room. Carter's time in Atlanta ended earlier than expected, but the problems continued afterward. She later signed with the Los Angeles Sparks, where similar concerns reportedly surfaced again. During film sessions, Carter often interrupted coaches, dismissed their strategies by saying, "That's not going to work," and even left meetings before they were finished. The situation became so serious that the Sparks made a decision that still surprises many people around the WNBA. The organization reportedly paid Carter nearly $90,000, close to one-third of its salary cap, simply to move on from her. In a league where every dollar is valuable, that choice showed just how determined the franchise was to separate from her. Carter's move to Chicago was viewed as her final chance to revive her WNBA career. The Sky believed her clear talent could finally be matched with maturity and professionalism, so they chose to give her another opportunity. But by the time the incident involving Caitlin Clark took place, that decision had already started to backfire. Behind the scenes, reports claim chemistry issues developed almost immediately. One Chicago staff member described the locker room as an environment where everyone felt they had to be especially cautious around Carter. Her activity on social media also attracted attention. In the weeks leading up to the Clark incident, there were quiet unfollows, unclear posts about respecting the game, and noticeable absences from team events. The clearest signal came after the incident itself. Several teammates quickly distanced themselves from Carter. Angel Reese, who was believed to have formed a close friendship with her, reportedly unfollowed Carter across all social media platforms just hours after the shove. That silent move revealed exactly where loyalties ultimately remained. After the incident, Carter had one last chance to protect both her reputation and her career during the post-game press conference. Just a few moments of honest accountability could have completely changed the outcome. A simple apology, admitting she had crossed the line, and showing genuine regret might have opened the door to a fresh start. Instead, many felt they were watching her career unravel in front of them. Even before answering the first question, her body language caught everyone's attention. She stood with her arms folded, rolled her eyes at direct questions, and sighed into the microphone several times. When reporters asked about the contact with Caitlin Clark, her reply surprised many people in the room. She said her focus was on New York, not that play anymore, adding that it was just basketball. It happened, it was over, and she did not understand why people continued discussing it. That response only increased the concerns many team executives already held. It suggested she was still unwilling to accept responsibility or reflect on her actions as a professional. Instead of improving her public image, the press conference strengthened the criticism surrounding her character. When asked whether she regretted waiting to address the incident, Carter once again defended her decision. She explained that she had no regrets because she always needed time to gather her thoughts after something happened. According to reports, those comments gave league officials a clearer understanding of her mindset as they continued reviewing the situation. The announcement of Carter's ban created an unusually strong reaction throughout the WNBA. Players who usually avoid speaking publicly about league discipline openly supported the decision. One veteran all-star posted on social media that the league's success had been built through years of dedication and that no single player should come before the respect the sport has earned. Coaches across the league also used the situation as a teaching moment during team meetings, discussing professionalism without mentioning Carter directly. One assistant coach explained that the conversations became much broader, focusing on what it truly means to represent women's basketball at the highest level. The strongest response came from Carter's teammates in Chicago. They offered no public support, released no statements defending her character, and made no claims that the punishment was unfair. At a time when players often stand together despite league decisions, their silence spoke louder than any statement. Carter's basketball future is now filled with serious uncertainty. Overseas leagues that once welcomed WNBA players have become far more selective when judging character and professionalism. One international agent representing several WNBA athletes said that in the past, talent alone could secure a contract despite personal concerns. But today, organizations value attitude, team chemistry, and professionalism almost as much as skill. Because of that, opportunities for players with a history of off-court issues have become much more limited. The financial impact has also been significant. Reports claim endorsement opportunities disappeared almost immediately, with several companies ending negotiations that had reportedly reached advanced stages. When salaries, sponsorships, and future career opportunities are added together, the difference between Carter's projected earnings and her current outlook could reportedly exceed $4 million. For the WNBA, the decision delivers a strong message during one of the biggest growth periods in league history. With television ratings climbing and merchandise sales reaching new records, the league appears determined to protect its reputation above any individual player, regardless of talent. The saddest part of